What is up, guys? Welcome back to episode 31 of the Rip City Rundown podcast. It was not a good week to be a Blazer fan. I can tell you that, and I'm just going to start off the podcast by saying that. There has been a little bit of drama within the Blazers this whole week, going from front office, the actual play on the court. We're going to have a game tomorrow night against the Clippers, tonight probably by the time you're watching this, and we're on a bit of a losing streak. How you feeling, West?
Yeah, so I was thankful to not watch the Celtics game. I heard all about it though. So yeah, it's not great to be a Blazers fan right now. I think ever since we did the podcast, we went 1-3, I believe, with the lone win coming against the Pistons, lost to the Jazz on the road, and the Spurs and Celtics. Sorry?
I was thinking we were on a 3-game losing streak. I just completely forgot about that Pistons game.
Yeah, so we did beat the Pistons, but yeah, 2 really ugly losses to the Spurs and the Celtics. No Damian Lillard in those 2 games. To be honest, if I had watched the Celtics game, I'd probably be way more upset.
Yeah,
I am upset, however, though, to see we lost by almost 30 points at home, and especially with the late game antics, what I heard.
Yeah, there's been a lot of stuff that's gone down since our last podcast. First thing we're going to talk about, though, well, before we get into the actual game stuff, let's talk about Neil Olshey. He officially got the boot. The Blazers cited, I think it was fantasy-laced tirades and intimidation as the 2 main reasons why he's getting fired. I did think it was interesting because it was said that he had a conversation with Jody Allen the night before he got fired, and there was no indication that they were going to fire him. So I have to think that Spurs game, seeing the fact that Moto was at I saw it was 40 or 50% capacity, plus us getting absolutely destroyed, maybe they had a reason.
Pressure from the fans.
What I'm thinking is they had a reason to fire him. They weren't going to do it yet, but then after that terrible showing against the Spurs, they were just might as well just go ahead and do it to get maybe.
Well, yeah, kind of shows the power is kind of in the fans' hands. They decided we don't support this team with him leading the charge as GM. We're not going to show up. Fans don't show up. You don't make money as a franchise, and you got to make money to put a good product on the court. It all comes around. So, yeah, I do think that was probably a part of the decision, especially with the report that there wasn't going to be any firing, which is interesting to me. You said profanity-laced tirades and intimidation.
I might have just cussed a lot of people out. But okay. I was listening to another Blazers show that I'll just go ahead and say it was Danny Meringue. I was listening to his show, and he has had a couple run-ins with Neil Olshey, and he was he's an asshole. So,
yeah, no, that's definitely, from the sources that I have, I have heard from people within the Blazers organization that have told me personally that he can be an asshole sometimes. So, yeah. There are plenty of assholes and plenty of jerks that work within sports and are fine, but maybe he probably crossed the line behind the scenes a number of times. And, that's, really we can't give you a definitive answer what happened. We just have to accept the fact that he's fired and move on. And probably this is going to be a step in the right direction for the on-court product.
Even if he wasn't an ass and wasn't a terrible person, he probably should have been fired just
from a basketball standpoint.
Not performing. He's the 4th longest tenured GM.
Hasn't put an all-star around Dame.
Yeah.
Dame has played with 0 all-stars, 0 all-NBA players, 0 all-NBA players. Yeah. All-stars, rookie of the years, 6th man of the year.
I did see that. That's all I have to say. So it's going to be Joe Cronin. That's going to be who was director of player personnel. I think if you watched my other video, he's been with the Blazers, I think, since 2005 or 2006. So it's not like this is a guy that's just coming in and just going to make a bunch of moves. I think he actually will make moves. I think they said they might ride him out until at least the end of the year or even give him the actual job, because the last time we had an interim general manager, do you want to know what happened, West? Pretty significant thing happened in our franchise.
I'm going to go with we either won the championship in 77 or we went to the finals in 92 or 91.
No, but it doesn't have to do with actual team success, but it was – I don't remember.
Blazers.
It was he made the trade that sent Gerald Wallace to the Hornet or the Bobcats. That ultimately gave us the 6th pick, and then you drafted Dame. So
wow, boy, was I off.
yeah, I mean, I did
was
kind
a
of
little
go down the wrong way by saying a huge. I mean, it was a big moment in our franchise, but obviously,
yeah. I was thinking more like from the team perspective of the title. Anyway, but yeah, I'm not too. I don't have many thoughts on the hire. I'm pretty sure he's a great dude.
no, yeah,
He's a lifer in the Blazers organization. He's been around the franchise for a while. He kind of knows the franchise inside and out. So yeah, no complaints there. I mean, really, he'll be judged by the product he puts on the court. So
exactly. But that's enough of the Neil Olshey situation. Quick thing before we go into the big topic of the actual Blazers is, well, this has to do with Blazers, but Damian Lillard is out ever since our last podcast. He's still currently out. Reports are saying he's been dealing with this abdominal injury for the last 3 or 4 years.
that was interesting.
That was even confirmed by M.A. Udoka last night, saying that Dame was obviously struggling with this during the Olympics, and that Dame had told him that he had been struggling for the last 3 or 4 years with this injury. I assume that this is just kind of a flare-up, a little more than normal, but that's not.
Yeah. Well, you can take two stances. You can either say wow, he's that good to play and have. I mean, within the past 3 or 4 years, he's put up some epic performances. Nuggets Game 5, Thunder Game 5. That basically the 2019 playoff run. If he's dealing with that abdominal pain, that's pretty impressive. But I think the most important thing to take away is that we were correct in our diagnosis of his problem. We were they said he had an ab issue at the Olympics. Maybe that's why he's shooting bad. Maybe that's why, that coupled with the fact that refs aren't calling, the NBA is getting a little more physical. I mean, that definitely doesn't help. When defenders can be up in your midsection all the time.
Yeah, the physical NBA probably didn't. That could be a reason why his injury kind of flared up.
Yeah.
But I think we're getting to the point where it's been about a week since they announced it. The initial report was 10 days, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him back on the court sometime this next week. Obviously, we also had Nasir, who was out this whole week. He's expected to be possibly back tomorrow night against the Clippers. They said he's questionable now. And then also Simons missed the last 2 games. He, not heard anything about him, but it was just a sprained ankle, so I don't expect him to be out much longer. But that's it on the injury front.
Yeah. Well, we got the Clippers tomorrow or tonight, depending on when you watch this, Monday the 6th. To me, that's – I don't want to say must win, but, I mean, come on, dude. It's home game. You've been dominating at home other than these last 2 games. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I watched a little bit of the Spurs game. Did not watch the Celtics really at all. I was busy. But the end of the Celtics game was concerning to me. Very concerning.
I'm going to go into a little of that because I was watching it. I watched that whole game front start to finish. Mm-hmm. And there's so much to unpack when it comes to that game. Just everything about the team. Everything you need to know about the Blazers this year, you could have got from that team or that game. So we'll just start off with this tweet about the end of the Celtics game from Mike Richmond. He goes, "The Celtics are absolutely clowning the Blazers in garbage time. The Boston bench was wilding so hard that they got a tech for laying on the court and celebrating. It got worse. The Celtics were force-feeding Peyton Pritchard in the closing seconds, and it was disrespectful enough that Damian Lillard hopped off the bench for maybe the first time all night to tell his teammates to commit a foul if the tomfoolery continued." And then we got Kevin Caballero absolutely just going off on the broadcast. I still wish I could just go back and find that clip and post it because
what did he say?
He was just like, "This is exactly what this team needed. You have just been embarrassed and you have been handed a huge loss on your home court. And I'm so glad Dame is getting up right now because at this point you can't hear it from the coaches. You got to hear it from your teammates and yourself." And he was just,
yeah.
It was like,
well, what's concerning to me is I'll watch these other teams that maybe on paper aren't as talented as the Blazers, but they compete every possession. I don't feel like the Blazers do that, and that's the most concerning thing to me.
There was no Jaylen Brown or Al Horford.
Oh my gosh!
We let Dennis Schroeder be plus 29. Chauncey also wasn't happy. Chauncey is kind of the past week though. Every time we lose, each press conference, he's kind of like, "This team needs to find their heart, and this team needs to have pride." But it was on full blow last night. We'll start off with the least or the less kind of bad quote. He goes, "The young guys, they don't know the politics of the league, but that's something the vets should be teaching them. I was more mad at the starters for putting the bench in that situation." And then he continues and he goes, "I've never seen a team that needs its bench to inspire our starters. That shit is crazy to me. It's supposed to be the other way around." So Chauncey didn't hold back in the press conference last night, and for good reason. The team just did not look inspired last night, and I guess that was last night. It wasn't fun to watch.
Yeah. That is interesting that like Chauncey is kind of saying that in the press conference. I don't mind it. He has said it a couple times now throughout the season, and I haven't really seen a shift in the energy level. So I think at some point you have to start looking at Chauncey a little bit, like how much are you really getting these guys ready?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was like,
no, he can't fix the roster. He can only get the most out of what he has. But I think I'd like to see the team come out more energy. I think you can fix your energy.
Yeah, you don't. The thing is, like, Chauncey's not really an emotional guy on the sideline at all. Like, I don't see him ever not having a straight.
Neither was Terry, to be honest.
So maybe we need.
Neither was Terry's thoughts.
You start to think maybe they don't bring a lot of energy because Chauncey is kind of like. To some of these guys, they look at him as like their boy. Like they're calling, like I've noticed this in interviews and press conferences. Like they were calling Terry Stotts. They were like, "Coach Stotts is helping us with this," but like CJ's calling him Chauncey. I don't want to look into that far, but like
right.
That seems like a more friendship relationship than he's your coach and he is your authority. I don't know. Maybe that's not that big of a deal though.
Yeah, I mean that is interesting you say that though. I mean Chauncey is a player coach who played in the league. Coach Terry Stotts didn't. I mean, they have like Steve Kerr play. You can be a player coach and be successful. There's plenty of coaches who've done that. But I do think like you have to establish that relationship, like that working relationship, and like I am your coach, and like you will, I call the shots around here. I don't know. We're not in the locker room, so.
Yeah, I would say if you're like this mad about a team not showing pride, then you do something about it and you bench them. But that can't happen. Like you can't bench CJ McCollum or Yusuf Nurkic because they're all you got at this moment right now. Everyone's going to look at CJ's performance last night. I've already kind of gone over this with you a little bit off the podcast, but they're going to look at it. They're going to see 21 shots and they're going to see only 24 points and another under 50% shooting night. And they're going to be like, CJ, you're the problem. But I think while, yes, CJ was, you could say he was off tonight, yeah, I don't think it was CJ McCollum's fault that we're losing this bad or.
So whose fault is it?
I think it's the construct. First off, I think it's injuries when you're missing your two.
It's fine, but we're, and I'm asking you this because I didn't watch the game that much last night. It's like we clearly were lacking some effort. So who was lacking effort?
I think I like when you're watching the game, I see many moments throughout the game where like I'm like, Nurkic, you're playing really well. You have 10 points in the first quarter. You're cooking. You got Covington, you're showing like you want to get in a defensive stance and play defense. CJ, I see you're putting in the effort. You're just not putting the results in. I just think there was just only glimpses of it. And I think that's why I'm like, that's what I'm talking about when I'm saying like CJ, I don't think it's his fault, but maybe it is. Like Nurk only played 20 minutes last night. Like that's just.
Yeah, but that's because the game was over after 30.
Maybe I'm being biased to CJ because in my heart I want him to be good. Maybe he is the problem.
No, but that's the thing. It's like I know he doesn't like not try. I mean, he clearly tries. He's just. I mean, like he's had insane performances in the past, but you can only judge off the present. I mean, it's a.
Okay,
sports.
I'm talking a lot of offensive stuff. CJ showed effort on offense. It is the defense. Like now that I think about it, our defense truly did look like a middle school defense out there.
That's exactly what I'm asking because every NBA player can play offense, but not all of them want to get down and play defense.
That's what it is. Like the rotations, were downright awful. Like we look, Boston shot 57% from three, but I think any team would have shot 57% from three in that night. Like they had so many wide open looks. It sucked because I put out a tweet. I don't know if anyone follows the Rip City Rundown Twitter, but I put out a tweet. I was like, you play good defense, you get easy buckets. And I don't think the Blazers realized that because in the second quarter, the one quarter we outscored them, we actually got a defensive stance and we played hard defense. And we got easy buckets. And it was a 4-point game at halftime or whatever. Like the formula's there. We just don't stick to the formula.
I think without Dame, I'm not necessarily frustrated if we lose to the Spurs. Okay, I'm a little frustrated if we lose to the Spurs even without Dame. But losing to the Celtics, losing to the Spurs, losing to the Jazz, like without Dame, I'm sorry, but when we look at the schedule and we're like the Spurs home, that should be a win. So we're taking into account we have Damian freaking Lillard on the court. And when we don't have Damian Lillard on the court, who literally accounts for like probably 70% of our buckets, either points or assists. I mean, I'm sorry, but Dennis Smith Jr. and no Simons, no Nasir Little. Those are 3 like of the top 7 like rotation guys. I'm sorry, but like when Dame's out and Simons is out, those are like our 2. Simons has been scoring the ball like amazingly this year. You have to get down and play defense. And when you don't have guys, you don't get down and play defense, you're not going to stay in games because you can't outscore teams without Damian Lillard. The Celtics put up 145 points, 145.
I think if we still put up 117. Like it's not
the lost by 28.
It's not the offense that's the problem, and we've been saying that for 10 years now.
We've literally been saying that for so long because you know what it is. We have no lengthily rangy on-ball guard. I mean, wing defenders.
The only guy
none. We're starting 3 guards, dude.
The announcer said it great. Rocco was working. He tried to get in a good defensive stance, but they were like, "This is where you're missing Nasir because Nasir's the only guy on your roster that can guard everybody. He's the only guy."
Yeah, I'm sorry, but like
the team defender, Rocco's not an on-ball defender.
I saw a stat where it's like there's been like maybe only a handful of teams who have ever won the NBA title with the defense ranked outside the top 10.
And we are 29th.
And we're 29th. 20 freaking ninth. That ain't going to do anything. The reason why we make the playoffs is because Damian Lillard is otherworldly. And when he's out, we look like a lottery team because we are without Damian Lillard.
I've said this before. We were a top 10 defense when we went to the Western Conference Finals. As crazy as that sounds, we were.
Mm-hmm.
So
because we were starting 2 lengthily rangy wing defenders, but then we decided, they can't shoot. And that's where you need someone like Mikal Bridges.
If you could get a defender that could shoot, that would be great.
Jay Crowder.
There is a good news though. The good news is that Western Conference, no one in the Western Conference is really running away with it other than the top 3. So we are still only 2.5 games back from the 4 seed.
And I know. It's there. One game there if we want it. It's there.
Yeah.
It's there.
Yeah,
I would love to see Dame come back. I would love to see Dame come back and not like be out for an extended time. We always have a core guy sit out for like a third of the season, which sucks.
No, I think this game last night, while as bad as it was, it can bring good. I think Dame, I just know something went down in the locker room. It had to have. So I think that this could be a good thing. It could kind of be that wake-up call that we finally needed, even though I feel like we had wake-up calls, but like this was like another level. So,
but to be honest, not much you can really say other than hopefully we turn it around. 2 unfortunate home losses after a brilliant stretch to start the season at home. But yeah, I believe we got home Clippers, Warriors away. I just don't know how I feel. I mean, it would elevate our team. I'm sorry. It would.
Yeah.
Immensely.
Do you think that at this point – oh, again, you didn't watch the game last night, so you couldn't really like see the vibes. But, like, do you think the only way at this point we get kind of rejuvenated is if we make a move? And do you think at this point –
No, it's 2 games. If we start going on it, if we now lose like 6 or 7, then maybe. But it's 2 games, dude. We don't have Dame.
But still, like this team,
people tend to forget about that.
This is very under expectations. This team,
but where there's expectations, fair.
I think expectations of being
this team was second ranked offense, 29th ranked defense. I was promised an improved defense. I haven't gotten it. The offense to be second again, I mean, that's tough. It's tough to stay second.
The problem is, technically our defense has improved, but it was just so awful last year that it's improved by like 2 points.
But it hasn't, because it's relative to the rest of the league, because you have to play other teams' defenses. So it really hasn't improved. I don't think you trade anyone yet. I think you give him a chance to turn it around, but I would love to see Ben Simmons in the
CJ
uniform.
looks like he's out there and he's just like, he knows that he's going to be the man to take the fall, which sucks. But
do you ever see, like, do you ever go on like NBA trade machine? You know how like when you like do like trades, when you like do trades, it like tells you like, oh, this would result in 4 increase in the win column.
Yeah.
Okay, Ben Simmons would increase the wins for us.
That's what it says?
No, I'm saying that. I don't care what ESPN says. ESPN doesn't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, I think that who knows? We know nothing about Ben Simmons at this point.
I know we don't, but we don't need Ben Simmons. We have Dame. Literally, you double Dame. Norm is more efficient than CJ, and Norm is more efficient than CJ and plays better defense and is bigger. Ben Simmons can guard anyone. Oh my God, Ben Simmons clamping on. Oh my gosh. CJ is just. I'm sorry, but Powell, Simons, CJ, Dame. It's just repetitive. It's repetitive.
His values dropped so much. That's why
it's repetitive.
We should have made the move in the offseason. And I kind of again, I was like, let's run it back. But
that's because freaking the 76ers asked for draft picks on draft picks. Like, to be honest, that's just unethical. You know Ben Simmons is not worth that much. Just stop asking for it. Man. But it's really not much else.
I did read another thing. It was like, we've had this core. How long has it been the Nurk, CJ, and Dame core?
5 years, 6 years.
A long time for a core to go without winning.
Yeah,
every team in the history at some point will blow up or it get talked a little bit. Like even you watched The Last Dance, it happened.
The problem is that we almost haven't had a year. Every year it's been like, but this is the reason why. Like, we went to the Western Conference Finals. Oh, we didn't have Nurk. The Pelican series, that was when it should have gotten broken up. But like in the bubble against the Lakers. Oh, CJ and Nurk were out for half the year. And last year, CJ was out for half the year. We really should have been a 4 seed. We haven't had a year, which just been because we've been straight up bad, which I wish we would have had. 1
second. My mic has been unplugged the whole time. So I'm gonna up the sound quality a little bit real quick.
But probably enough for the Blazer talk.
Let's get a little Portland Timbers talk. Let's lighten up the mood a little bit. Portland Timbers fans. I had 35 people in here on a live stream with me. That was pretty fun.
That is pretty good. But the Portland Timbers are going to host MLS Cup.
That's insane. That's first time they're hosting in their 3 years of going.
Yep. Played on the road in Columbus, on the road in Atlanta.
Last 7 Western Conference teams to go to the MLS Cup are all Cascadia.
Really?
It went Timbers 2015, then Sounders, then Timbers, then Sounders, then Timbers. So
Timbers and Sounders. Yeah. That's crazy.
Not Vancouver.
That rivalry is something else. But we're hosting the Pigeons from NYC.
Yeah, that was a game.
We're hosting.
I feel bad for Philly. Philly had like 12 people out because of COVID. They had no Andre Blake in the game.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a Mickey Mouse, if I've ever heard it.
Yeah, it's Mickey Mouse.
Okay, this is setting up nicely for us. I really think
I was just so glad to shut up David Ochoa. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he went to Mexico. Oof.
I'm not losing over it.
Yeah, but to be honest, it's kind of a little sloppy game. First goal was really sloppy by RSL. The second goal was a nice shot by Mourinho. It went
off the post, off the back. That's funny.
Yeah, but to get the goal, to get the lead in the 5th minute really helped, to be honest. It made RSL come out. They couldn't counter. I
did say the final score was going to be 2-0 on the last podcast. I did say it was going to be
I said it was going to be a second half goal and then a late second half goal. But it was just the way it happened kind of is what I predicted. I was like, we're going to score first, and then they're going to come out of their shell, and then we're going to score a second to seal it. And that is what happened.
Typical. But
typical.
2-0. Typical 2-0 dub against an inferior team.
Yeah, Steve Clark had a big save after the first goal.
I saw that. He popped up and caught it.
Yeah, that was cool to see. It was cool to see Valeri come on after the reports came out that this is going to be his last season in Portland. So maybe we send him out with an MLS Cup. That would be awesome.
That'd be awesome.
I think he would probably just go back to Argentina.
Yeah,
or retire.
That dude, he deteriorated athletically in the blink of an eye.
I mean, he was never like the most athletic guy, but like he is an old man now.
Like he can't run.
Yeah. Well, is Blanco? Could Blanco be back?
Did he not play in the game?
No.
No. They said he had a chance playing this game, so I imagine he'll be back.
Yeah. Who else? Asprilla will be back, obviously.
That's clutch. That's big time. I'll start.
Niasgoda didn't start. I saw that. I was expecting him to start. That was who I said was going to score.
Well, you almost right. He should have scored. He had a wide open header.
Yeah. Let's see. Maybe Blanco did get in when I wasn't even paying attention.
Thought he played.
No. Fochive came on, Niasgoda, and Blake Bodley. Blanco was in the sub, so that probably means he was healthy enough to play if we needed him.
He was in the 18.
That's good to know.
But, yeah, I'm debating if I should go to the game or not.
Figure that out soon.
Yeah, well, yeah, I would be able to leave sometime middle next week. I don't know. I'll have to talk more off camera about that. Can't really give too many details about my personal life.
I feel that,
but
I will not be attending the game, sadly.
How about the Ducks in the Alamo Bowl playing the Sooners
after getting their butt destroyed?
Did Oregon State Bowl eligible? Yes.
I would be interested to see what all the bowls are. We got some good matchups. Bowl Mania will be a doozy. Comment down below if you want to see some Bowl Mania content.
Does Cincinnati have any shot of beating Bama?
Yeah, they actually do have a shot.
Do they?
They're not gonna. I don't think they'll beat them, but they have a shot.
If you were a odds maker, what's the line there?
I think I did see the actual line, but if I was doing the line, I would do it like 10 by Bama.
What is it, like 2 touchdowns?
13.5. And if I was doing the Georgia-Michigan game, I would do
Georgia by 7.
I would do that even.
Even.
Michigan has looked really good. Michigan's defense is almost.
That's going to be. I bet you the over/under on that's like in the 40s.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised
for sure.
The final score is like a 21-17 game.
Yeah, Georgia's offense is sneaky good, decent though. So
I think it's sneaky good. Michigan's is not sneaky good. It's it's solid. It's just not that good.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the defense.
No, the defense is
elite.
Great. It's elite. Both defenses. I did say that I predicted Alabama to beat Georgia just because I was like having that big of an emotional win against Auburn.
I'm not gonna lie. You don't have to believe me. Didn't Georgia play Cincinnati in like the football in the New Year's Six Bowl?
Yeah, Peach Bowl last year.
Who won?
Georgia by like 3, I think.
Georgia by 3. So I was talking to my friends like 2 months ago, and I was like, wouldn't it be poetic if Cincinnati beat Georgia in the national championship game? That's what I said.
I genuinely think all 4 teams have a chance to win it all. Everyone thinks
Cincinnati won it all. That would be awesome. Would that be more like of an underdog story than Leicester City?
So many people probably have no clue who you're talking about, but
okay, sorry.
No.
2015.
I think Leicester City is much crazier.
Yeah, probably, but
I would compare this to.
Yeah, it's probably too hard. I don't know if you can come up with something top of the head. Can you?
Giants winning the Super Bowl in 2007?
Bruh. Okay, it's hard to do that because the Giants, every NFL team, there's like 20 who think they have a shot going into the year.
I mean, just like the whole season. Because then they go into
Yeah,
the
I
season
don't know.
that Coughlin was about to get fired, and then
I don't know.
at one point they sucked.
But-
that was
but-
just the first thing I came to the top.
I think it's a little less. I think it's something less likely than that because they don't play in a Power 5. They literally weren't like even in this.
Maybe like
I mean,
if
they had
Wichita State ended up winning it all that 1 year, they went to the Final
Yeah.
Four.
that's a good comp actually. I agree with that.
But Cincinnati's got some players.
We do have some players.
They
It'll
might
be
have one
interesting
of
to
the
see.
best defensive players in the country.
Alabama looked scary against
That
Oregon.
Bryce Young is the Heisman Trophy winner. He is a beast.
Yeah. So, but anything else you want to say?
Mechie tore his ACL, I think,
Not going to get his over on catches then.
but we got it. That's all I got to say. Sorry for the little ramble on other sports, but if you like us doing that, let us know because it's nice to do a little sports roundup, I guess, or whatever on our mind. You like the jersey?
I was about to say, what is that? Is that Dame or something?
Space Jam.
But Blazers, and it says Bugs Bunny. Oof.
Yep, it's getting a little sauce, but
It's cool. It's cool.
it's a cool jersey. Maybe it goes up in the studio somewhere. We got our Christmas stuff that I don't know where it came from.
Now, the guy over your right shoulder, he's gone. But is the guy over your left shoulder about to leave?
Who's? Oh, Gary.
Yeah,
He's gone.
just
CJ
CJ.
could leave, and we got the Dame shoes. We
I was
got.
not referring to that.
we
I
got-
could have just said the guy. I could have said the guy right behind you.
Then we have our sponsor of the video. Put the link in the description if you are interested in flowers, planting
Wildflower
flowers.
Company.
Make sure to go
Wildflower
to.
Company.
I'm not sure the website, but I'm going to put it in the description. Createdbynature.com. Created by
You
Nature.
can find him on Amazon
You can
too.
also find it on Amazon. Just search up Wildflower.
In fact,
You can get the Colorado version, which has seed mix for the poppy, the Shasta daisy, the blue columbine, baby's breath, blue fax, African daisy, and much more. If you're interested in that, covers 350 square feet, and could be a good Christmas gift to get for your loved ones if they are into flowers and want to plant by spring, because they are best to plant in the spring.
and they have very specific states. So if you're from California, you can get the California pack. There's the state flower for all of them.
Yeah, I
and,
guess with that pack.
flowers, after that cold, dull winter,
Oh,
nice
man.
flowers to spruce up the front yard. Come on now. Who wouldn't
Yeah,
want that? It's
I
a great Christmas gift for the parents, for the wife.
I personally like the Colorado one the most because personally my favorite flower is the black-eyed Susan. And the African daisy is also a pretty cool one.
I'm a
but-
big fan of the Indian paintbrush. Those are found in
You know what
Montana.
state that's for? That's in Montana. Do they sell Montana?
For sure.
The packaging is quite beautiful, though. And again, put the link in the description if you're interested in grabbing our sponsor of the video, Wildflower Company. Thanks for
Yep.
the sponsor.
Yep, of course. All right. Anything else you want to go with? Timbers and the MLS Cup final. Blazers trending in the wrong
Probably do a
direction.
watch along for that. Maybe if you do go to the game, you and Cody could do a vlog and we post it on the channel. Possibly.
That would be pretty sick.
That's an
I
awesome.
really need to figure out if I can make
Even
it.
if it's just I know Cody will be in attendance. So, and
All right.
he's not here on the podcast today.
I have to go.
All right, you have to go, so you can log out, and I'll close this out right here. So see you later. But yeah, there goes West. That's gonna do it for the podcast, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I really hope the sound quality was good enough. First part of the video, the mic wasn't plugged in because I am stupid. I hope the mic, it's going through the mic. Yep, it's going through the mic now. But make sure to subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Download if you're watching on Spotify or listening on Spotify. And sorry that Cody wasn't here on the podcast today. He was not able to make it. He has finals, so he's got to work on that. But bad week. Bad week for the Blazers. We'll leave it at that. Hopefully next week is better. That'd be it, guys. Peace.